This article comes from GoNintendo.com. Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap dev team, because the Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap is a game, would love to remake the first or second Zelda game. As who wouldn't? Let's be honest. So there's a quote here. I won't go through the whole article, but I'll read the quote that says, "Zelda, the first one is a better game. Everyone seems to agree, but the second, it's a game that could have been better, which makes it a good candidate. We can take this game that was a bit flawed and actually improve it. It'd make sense, but the first Zelda, if you remade it, I don't think I'd change anything. And if you did change anything, people would riot. But anyways, it's Nintendo, so I have a couple thoughts on this. First of all, you can change things. You can add a map.
Well,
please.
I want to bring up with Breath of the Wild. It wasn't a remake of the original, but there was a lot of people, there was a lot of rumors saying that it was a remake. But there was a lot of things in the original that they brought, they wanted to bring a lot of the stuff. So it's heavily inspired to Breath of the Wild, the mountain and the distance. So there was the screenshot comparisons. There's the Lionels in the overworld. They wanted to make the Guardians. The reason why they're so big is because of the size comparison of the Octorok from the original game. When you see an Octorok in Ocarina of Time, and Jabu Jabu's belly had a giant Octorok. But mostly they were just the tiny Octoroks. And then Majora's Mask had one, but you just ran your boat into it.
Yeah, but you can also shoot it. If you get the bow and then you come back, you can shoot it.
Yeah.
Which is satisfying to do.
Yeah. But sorry, I just wanted to bring up how Breath of the Wild was heavily inspired by the original Zelda.
Yeah, there's a lot of themes that carry over, but if anyone says it's a remake, they're just flat out incorrect. But just because the story is not even close to being the same.
There was no 100 shrines in the original.
No.
There was no Sheikah Slate. There was no NPCs. There was just the random moblins that would give you stuff.
Something, would you?
People in caves, I guess, would technically be NPCs.
Wanting you to buy their stuff.
Yeah, shopkeepers.
It's
Zelda 2, I would love them to remake because people don't play that game. And it's like Metroid 2.
I have it on my Wii U.
You should. It's good. I actually really like Zelda 2.
Music's cool.
Unpopular opinion. I prefer it to Zelda 1, just because there was a lot of things that Zelda 2's combat is more intricate, because there's sort of 3 layers. It's harder. I love a challenge, and it's a little more focused with the direction. There's a lot of. It doesn't outright say you have to go to this place and this place, but it focuses you, it guides you to those places through its game design. Zelda 1, some people say that this is a good thing about it, is that it's so open. You can stumble upon the 7th dungeon first if you choose to do so. But the thing is, it's so unfocused that it's not if you choose to do so. It's you might because you can't find the first dungeon. And if they just had a map, then it would just be so much better. But yes, there's not a lot I would change about Zelda 1. Maybe make it a little closer to the BS version of Zelda 1.
What do you mean? Make it 16-bit?
Sure, or no, not necessarily 16-bit, but maybe give it a bit of a facelift. And the
Return
BS
of
version,
do they call him the Hero of Light?
I think so, but
in the BS games?
Zelda has a slightly they cut out some of the map to make it a little more concise.
Do you know what BS Zelda is, Celia?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I've watched your videos.
She's not confused.
If anyone in the chat or watching this in the
top 5. Yeah,
and we have a video about it.
There was people commenting on the videos BS Zelda did release this video is wrong, and I'm like, no.
It's sort of
at no point could you ever walk into a store and purchase that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was only available to download for a very limited time.
Yeah, and it's not a game you can go buy now, unless it's a reproduction. Actually, which is how I have it. I have a reproduction cart of it.
Ooh.
which is
But there's no live host
not
being like,
official.
Go into the
But they're
cave.
saying that that's not there. But they add a map. Such a godsend, and the map just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you don't have to draw your own map on the paper.
No, ain't nobody got time for that. And yeah, there's a bit more of a concise feel to the map. There's a lot of tiles in the first Zelda game that have no purpose. There's nothing really to do, or there's just like 4 moblins, and you just kind of ignore them and walk through. There's a lot of empty maps that you could quote unquote say there's nothing to do, but kind of serve a world building feel that are important to keep. But there's some that is just no, just get rid of it. So, yeah, I remake them both. Put them as like a little collector's pack or something. That would be great.
Would you want them to remain pixel? Because I added this in not really because it wasn't really because of the news. Because if Nintendo went to any developer, they would say yes to being part of a team that made a Zelda game, or they would say no for the same reason of the Metroid 64, because they don't want to screw it up.
Right. But like Capcom was supposed to remake Zelda 1.
Yeah,
and they're like, actually, we're gonna make the Oracle games.
Yeah.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, we also talk about that in the same video. Did you see that, Ilya?
I think so.
So the Oracle games originally started as 3 games. But before that...
They only did 2 of the goddesses.
But before that, they did... they were just remaking the original for the Game Boy. And which they eventually did port it to the Game Boy Advance. But that was emulated. It wasn't being like a remake for the system. But with the original, they had the game like half done. And then Nintendo and Capcom, I forgot what happened, but they decided to do original games. So that's how the Oracle games came, and that's why
there's like a lot that carries over.
Yeah, and one of the maps, I forgot which one, but one of the maps is like almost identical to the original Zelda, and the bosses and like designs and dungeon layouts are also super similar. So very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about this, not because of the news, because again, almost any developer would be willing to take it. Like Nintendo could even go to Sony, like their arch nemesis, and they would be like, do we make Uncharted 5, The Last of Us 3, or a remake of Ocarina of Time? I think they would drop everything and remake Ocarina of Time. But anyways, the point is, again, not because they want to make it, because anyone wants to be a part of the Zelda franchise, but I want to know what games you guys would like to see remade, and who you would like to see remake them. So in this case, this third-party developer wanted to remake the first 2. And we talked about it a little bit. Like you said, you wanted a map, and a map, and a map.
Yes.
But Ilya,
it's a very important detail.
What would you like to see if they did remake this?
Oh, me.
Yeah, like changes for Zelda 1 or 2.
Okay, I love the open world aspect. I'll be honest, I have Zelda 1 on my 3DS. I got it, I think, over spring break. I have still yet to find a dungeon. I have just died 1,000 times. I'm
and
like,
the first
Zelda, it's directionless. It's directionless. Like I like the game, but no, totally. You could go and not find
a bazillion caves, and they're like, buy something, and I'm like, I can't buy anything. So I would love a map in that one. If I could have any game remake, and I know this was like a podcast discussion a while back, I would love to see Link's Awakening remade, because I freaking love Link's Awakening. Mainly nostalgia.
Yes.
The Legend of Zelda Bridge.
No, but it's the oft forgotten Zelda game. You know, it's just one that people just forget about because it's the Metroid 2 of the Zelda. It's that Game Boy game that came out, and it was pretty good, but then people forgot it existed, and
like,
we needed remake.
The Philharmonic Concert Orchestra did like an orchestra version of Ballad of the Windfish. I cried the first time.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
I was playing that before the podcast, and I died like 10 times. Like, I'm just a player.
Also, I truly think Zelda 1 is harder than Zelda 2. That's also a controversial opinion, but in Zelda 2, the combat's hard, but...
There's at least focus. I agree with you.
Yeah, and if you go into a combat situation in Zelda 2, it's hard, but it's fair. In Zelda 1, you just get swarmed. Like it's just like 10 dark nuts, and they just surround you and murder you, and you can't. And you're just if it was a Link to the Past Link, you could take them, but because Zelda 1 Link is so clunky feeling,
all you need is the what was it? Was it the not talisman?
Just you need to slash instead of stab.
No. There was
shoot swords out of your sword.
Basically, what Urbosa's Fury was based off of from A Link to the Past.
Oh, like the medallions.
Yeah.
And Quake, I think, were the three.
So you could get that from like the fish thing in the water, and then like lightning would come down. So like, if Zelda 2 had that, to where it would just hit all the enemies on screen, that'd be really cool.
I want to see the downward strike attack come back from 2.
Smash Brothers.
Smash.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like I understand a skyward strike, but that has logically way less force than a downward strike.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
About a video game.
You know what I love is in Skyward Sword that the sword beam just has an explanation.
Link and Wind Waker did the downward strike to Ganondorf's face.
Yes, finishing blow. And in Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, there's sort of the finishing blow is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, so similar. Like the downward strike is just an OP attack.
Like really outside of.
It's always an OP attack.
But is Zelda 2, that's like, you pretty much can get through using pretty much just that, or doing a jumping duck slash. So, because if you press down, Link will duck, and you can duck slash. But if you jump and then duck, the enemy sees that you're jumping, so they'll like try and block upwards. But then you do a duck slash, and you just get them. It's totally cheap, but it works. But there's nothing more satisfying in Zelda 2 than doing the down slash, and like pogo jumping off like 10 enemies in a row, like just bam, 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 like across the screen. It's ridiculously fun.
It's the same feeling I get when I play like Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers, and jumping on.
Just Goombas. Bounce Goombas. Kill the Goombas.
I forgot what they're called. I also suck at that game. I just suck at side games. Right. I suck at all.
So, you said if any game could be remade, you would want it to be Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Who would you choose? What developer would you choose?
Probably because I'm most familiar with them. It was Grezzo that did the yes games, right?
Yeah.
Probably them. Although I wouldn't want it to be the same type of graphics.
As A Link Between Worlds?
Maybe more of that.
That's what the rumor was, like the Legend of Zelda Bridge.
Yeah, I just wouldn't... Wait, who did the, like, Ocarina of Time 3DS and...
Oh, that was Grezzo.
Grezzo, yeah.
Grezzo
I would
did...
want it to look exactly like that, but...
Grezzo did the Four Swords DX thing. Like the port...
The Four Swords one.
They did, like, the port for the 3DS for, like, the 20th anniversary, or 25th. And then they did Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D. They helped on the dungeons in A Link Between Worlds, and they did like 80% of Triforce Heroes.
I would probably want to go with that. I would love to see it in A Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds form.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah, because I want to see how like Marin and all those characters.
Yeah. So
just because I love all.
Did you see the podcasts where we talked about it, or even like the rumors where the Link's Awakening remake?
Yeah, because I saw it was clickbait for me because I think that was part of the title, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
and I was like, dang it, it's a rumor.
The rumor suggested the title was going to be like A Link Between Islands.
Holland.
Yeah. And then I was like, A Link Between Islands? That's just a bridge. Like, if you link two islands, that's literally a bridge. So I started calling it The Legend of Zelda Bridge. So...
The only thing I would miss, if it was more 3D form, was my favorite cutscene is when Erin finds Link, and it's her bouncing, and then she starts bouncing really, really fast to him.
So, Ty Anderson, who... I don't think I would call him a friend, But he's someone that I've met because of my YouTube channel. And he's helped me with, like, mods when I used to put, like, HD textures on Twilight Princess. He, like, did a bunch of HD mods for Twilight Princess. But anyways, it's probably already finished. But he remade Link's Awakening with the engine of Majora's Mask.
Oh.
So it's like a fully 3D behind-the-back scene version of Link's Awakening.
Good. It looks like just the bits. It looks very like beta Ocarina of Time. Like has that kind of feel to it. But the presentation looks superb.
Yeah.
It has a lot of those same. Well, it's all the same areas, right? But it has that N64 charm to it, you know. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It hits me in the nostalgia bones.
That's why I actually have trouble playing Ocarina. Just because I'm like, it's too.
Oh, the video's deleted. Nintendo must have like.
Oh.
The
I was about to
ninjas.
be like, show me.
The Nintendo ninjas took it.
Right. No, here. All right, I'll send it to you on Twitter. You
yeah.
can.
Also, I think Tony's got a good video about it too.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple videos about it. Like
Link's Awakening 64. You watched videos on it? Is that what you meant, or a different thing?
Or about the rumor.
Oh, okay.
Is what I mean, because I don't know. I legitimately can't remember which game I played first, that or Ocarina. They came out around similar times, and I was also 3 years old. I just gave away my age. So I'm like, I don't remember. I was pretty young. I could barely.
You cut out there at the end.
You did. I didn't hear any of that.
Oh no, I was just saying I was really young when I remember which one I played first, but they both have this. Because I had a Game Boy Color. It was pink. Like all my devices were pink too. But
I wasn't able to play Link's Awakening until I think I emulated it to play it the first time. Yeah. I just hope they put out another Zelda collection like they did for GameCube, and then have like the obscure games on there, like Oracle or Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
Do a 3DS
Four
pack
Swords
with Link's Awakening and the Oracle games.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's missing something. Maybe one other, but
yeah,
that would be creme de la creme.
I would pick if we're doing a full remake. Both Oracle games, and make it look like the clickbait commercial they had, where it was like all CG and it had like the 3D model of Link running up the tower with the staff and everything for the Oracle games. Do you know what I'm talking about, Daniel?
Yeah.
So like have it look like that, but when I say the Oracle games, and this is kind of cheating because there's two. You're not just getting one Zelda game, you're getting two. So it's kind of cheating. But I would want it made by Crystal Dynamics, who worked with Square Enix to make the new Tomb Raider games. You don't know the new Tomb Raider games?
I haven't played them, but I've seen commercials.
I don't even know Metroid. I know what Metroid is.
Yeah, Metroid's the guy in the suit.
Metroid's a girl.
I do know that.
Metroid is the guy in the suit.
I know Metroid's
Well, it's Samus is the girl. Metroids are the little enemies.
The little squishies.
Yeah.
And his name is Squishy, and I will call him Squishy.
Squishy.
Yes.
It's like, what was it? Nintendo gave a thing for their reasoning behind why they named stuff the way they did. Is like Mario is named after the hero. Zelda is named after the person that you save. Metroid is named after the enemy. Donkey Kong was also named after the enemy. So they like to spice it up so it's not always named after the hero. Like if they did the Metroid thing for Mario, then Mario would be called Goomba.
Maybe Koopa.
Yeah, Koopa.
Maybe
Bowser
Koopa.
I didn't realize till like a few months ago that Bowser was a giant Koopa, and I felt so.
What? You just now?
Like 2 months ago.
He's got the big green shell.
Yeah.
I was just. He just looks so evil. I didn't.
Right.
He's okay.
Ilya, do you want to take us to our next news story? You can pick out of the selection that's still there, and we'll try to get through these a little bit faster, so we can try to get through. We've been getting off topic, so I apologize.
The one that stuck out to me was by Kotaku.com, written by Heather Alexandra. New Breath of the Wild glitch lets you instantly recharge runes.
Oh, that was the one that we cut out. Wasn't it, Daniel?
That's okay. We can still do it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
That's
paying
okay.
attention.
Well, no, like,
I'm not in school anymore, so I don't pay attention.
The thing is, like, we can't show the video for it for the people that's watching, and that's more of a visual thing. So,
well, I'm gonna watch it later anyway.
Yeah.
So people should go watch that, and I'll watch it too. What are the other two? Ooh. I don't know much about Switch, but I'll read it anyway. Nintendo officially says there are no plans to do a virtual console service with Switch like they've done with their other platforms from Go Nintendo.
What? No virtual console?
Oh no! I'm ready to break it down why this is not as terrible as everyone thinks, but let's continue.
Yes.
A Nintendo spokesperson has officially squashed the idea, and the whole quote is, "There are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner, as has been done with other Nintendo systems. There are a variety of ways in which classic games from Nintendo and other publishers are made available on Nintendo Switch, such as through Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo eShop, or as packaged collections." The Nintendo spokesperson said Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online will provide a fun new way to experience classic NES games that will be different from the Virtual Console service, thanks to enhancements such as added online play, voice chat via the Nintendo Switch Online app, and the various play modes of Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So everyone took this because there was another quote where I think it was Kotaku reached out to Nintendo and they were like, "Hey, are you going to have virtual or like release retro games on the Virtual Console for Switch?" And Nintendo basically said something like, "We have no current plans to release classic games under the Virtual Console brand." And everybody was like, "Oh no, there's no Virtual Console. We're not going to play A Link to the Past on the Nintendo Switch." And the thing is,
Super Mario Bros. 3 again for the 12th time.
The thing is, everyone has been like misquoting all of this. You can or you will be able to do that. It's just the rumor is it's going to be releasing under the title Nintendo Classics instead of Virtual Console. So it's literally the exact same thing, an eShop for older games, but it's just going to have a different title. That's it. And the
Plus we get cloud saves now.
Yeah, and the main reason they're doing that is likely because someone will be like, "Oh, Virtual Console. I bought A Link to the Past on my Wii U for the Virtual Console, so I should be able to just download it on the Nintendo Switch because it's already purchased off the Virtual Console." This is where Nintendo can come in and be like, "Yeah, you bought it on the Virtual Console, but this is classics." And then they're like, "Oh.
We want your money."
Which, on the Wii, they had a cool thing to where, like, if you bought a game on the Wii, then you could pay $2 or something to upgrade it to the Wii U, which technically is a good deal because you get to play it in handheld mode, like, sort of handheld mode, and you would get, like, it would look better because it'd be, like, rendering out in HD. Even though they're, like, 2D pixel games, they still look better.
They do. Also, the Wii U improved on the Wii's Virtual Console save states or suspend points, which is the same thing, which I very much appreciate.
So I think it's worth the $2 upgrade.
Yeah, but I do wish that I didn't have to pay for it again. Like we've talked about this to death on the podcast previously, but
I think the title for this will be Nintendo Classic will have Virtual Console games.
Or pretty much the same service. It's just the branding thing, you know.
They're literally changing the title.
So don't panic, everybody. panic on Twitter, and then it went onto YouTube, and there's like 100 news reporting sites that.
I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Okay, will Virtual Console or Nintendo Classics has Game Boy Advanced games, right?
Yes, Game Boy, everything but GameCube, pretty much.
So Game Boy Advanced games would release on the Virtual Console or Nintendo Classics.
I don't know what you said. You cut out too.
All right,
I'm sorry.
Game Boy Advanced games would release on the Virtual Console or Nintendo Classics.
I assume.
So it's for retro games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Mother 3 did release in
anything's
America,
possible. They did Earthbound Zero.
No. if it did release on the Game Boy Advance or like for the Nintendo Switch, would it go to the eShop because it's a brand new game, or would it go to the Virtual Console or the thing? Because it is it's never been released before. So but it is a Game Boy Advanced game.
So what did they do with oh sorry, I said Zero before. Earthbound Beginnings, did they do that as like a Wii U exclusive download, or did they do that as a virtual when they did Earthbound Beginnings?
You're making up stuff.
No, Earthbound Beginnings.
No.
It was a thing.
Fake news.
No, it was a really big deal.
Fake news.
When they released Earthbound Beginnings,
the original Mother?
Which was Mother 1 in Japan.
Wait,
was never released.
So Mother is Earthbound Beginnings. And then Mother 2 is Earthbound.
Mother 2 is Earthbound as we know it.
What is wrong? That's like Final Fantasy 4 was like Final Fantasy.
Exactly like that, because at the time Nintendo didn't want to give us everything. They just were like, no, they won't like that. The white people won't like that one. So they're gonna find it too hard. Don't give it to them. So they wouldn't send us all the games. So we got Earthbound, which was actually Mother 2.
They literally took another game and made it a Mario game because Mario 2 was
exactly. So
are you okay, Ilya?
You gonna make it?
No, I'm fine. And then I was like, I'm sorry, I just became so lost.
But no, with Earthbound Beginnings, they released it on the Wii U, and that was the first time we got it in North America.
In 1998, holding my microphone, really, some ASMR for you guys.
Okay, I can hear you. It's okay.
In 1998, a version of the completed original Mother localize was found. Wait, what? So they completed the localization, but they lost it?
And then they didn't give it to us.
How does Nintendo do that?
I don't know.
They completed the game and lost it?
You're gonna destroy my headphones.
They completed a game and lost the master copy. Okay. In 1998, a version of the completed original Mother localization was found. The cartridge was auctioned and uploaded to the internet, where it is unofficially became known as Earthbound Zero on June 14th, 2015. Before the Nintendo World Championships, Nintendo released the much-awaited official version of Mother with the title Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U Virtual Console in North America and Europe.
So, with that in mind, if they were to do Mother 3, you would think they would follow the same logical process.
Why do people watch this?
Release it as a classics. I don't know why we have viewership anymore.
There's 41 people watching. There'll be a few thousand that actually watch.
People going, my headphones.
There'll be a few thousand that actually watch the podcast.
Oh.
So for the people watching this, comment. Why do you watch it?
Why do you still like us?
All right.
But yeah, so I think they would follow the same logic.
It would be Virtual Console, not eShop.
Virtual Console, or I guess it would be the classics now.
That's the best name in the world, though, for retro games.
Classics?
Virtual Console.
Classic? Okay, yeah. No, I liked Virtual Console as a name because if you're like saying, I'm playing a Nintendo Classic, you were like, yeah, which one? I'm like, no, I mean, I'm going to
the
Nintendo
SNES
Classics.
Classic.
And they're like, which one? Everything's classic.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Virtual Console's very like, almost, it feels very deliberately named.
Yeah, or they could have like the eShop and then the Retro Shop.
Ooh,
that
Retro
would be
eShop.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of them being two different platforms.
Yeah.
So like two different apps. Like if you click on eShop, it's new games. Classic would be older games.
Yeah,
I like the idea of separating
eShop was, I thought, pretty well laid out, because you could pretty much, you go onto the eShop, even though it was like Virtual Console, you would just browse by whatever console it was that would be all listed. It wasn't like you had to go to a separate Virtual Console menu. You know what I mean? That was like separate from loading the rest of the eShop.
We lost a few viewers when I was doing that.
They're like, oh, I can't listen to this.
That's fine.
Oh no, there goes my subwoofer.
Yeah. No, Ilya, if you want to watch it in the background while we're talking, since you don't have to read it, I sent you the link for that thing on Twitter, so you can just like watch it in the background while you're talking to us. But yeah, mail. So this comes along because the Nintendo Classics, this goes into the second part of the news, it comes to the Nintendo, it's part of the Nintendo Online service, where not only are you getting these older games, but they're adding in multiplayer and stuff. I forgot what it was, like the original Zelda game was on the list, and it's like, how do you make that multiplayer? Are there going to be two links running around, or is it going to be like a time trial?
Find a four-sword. Time trial makes sense.
Yeah.
Co-op?
Yeah, like I would love it if it was
actually,
co-op.
That would be fun, actually.
Two links drop down.
I love that. Yeah.
And then if one goes off screen, then you can see like a little mini map at the top to see like which square they're in, or
you
make
don't have
it
to be
where
tied to the same tile.
Make it to where you can't go too far away from each other, though.
Right.
Or you could, and you could do like hide and seek.
Maybe.
Like
I don't know.
Or like one person could go off and like get all of the upgrades, like extra heart pieces and stuff, and then the other person can go off and get other upgrades. And then if one person gets an upgrade, it automatically upgrades both of them.
See, I was just thinking, like, wouldn't that suck, though, if one of them got, like, the bow, but only one of them got to accurate?
It'd be like Triforce Heroes, where you have to strategically pick your costume. You look like you're having fun, Ilya. Are you loving what you're seeing?
It's throwing me off.
Do you not like
I'm watching it? No, I do, but it's throwing me off because I'm like, I can't help. The graphics just make me think Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So I'm like,
I'll email him later and see if
Deku,
I can get an updated demo to send you.
The Deku Babas have like teeth. It's terrifying me.
Cool.
Are there they're not Deku Babas in Link's Awakening?
What are they?
The tall stem things that reach out.
Yeah, those are Deku Babas.
Yeah, they're in the video.
But they're they're not in the original.
But they have like shark teeth.
Oh yeah.
Shark teeth. Ooh, aha.
Alright, so the second part of the news. Nintendo shares new details about its Nintendo Switch Online service coming in September. This also comes from Raw Meat Cowboy at Go Nintendo. Says Nintendo's upcoming Nintendo Switch Online service is an affordable, multi-featured paid service that lets users enjoy online play for compatible Nintendo Switch games. Access classic NES games with added online functionality. Backup save data for most games and use additional features for the Nintendo Switch Online smartphone app that will enhance the online experience for compatible games. Nintendo revealed more information about Nintendo Switch Online, including pricing, save data, cloud backup, and additional details about the classic NES game subscribers will be able to play when it launches in September. US pricing various price points offer a variety of affordable options for different players. Oh, this is huge. Okay. So, basically, 1 month, $4. 3 months, $8, a year, $20, or their family membership, which lets everyone on the Nintendo Switch, so like different profiles, as long as it's all on the same Nintendo Switch, for $35.
I can't imagine that many people, like 7 people, sharing one
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's the thing is, like, even if you have 2 people for a year, it's cheaper to get the family membership.
Yeah. And they are, I think they're releasing with 20 NES games to start out with, but only 10 have been announced. I imagine they're all just going to be mostly what you can get on the NES Classic system.
I assume it would be about the same as that library, because pretty much the NES Essentials, you know. So the first 3 Mario Bros, Zelda,
yeah.
And what else?
Well,
is on
they have it here
Metroids.
at launched. Previously announced games: Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, and Super Mario Bros. 3 will be joined by Donkey Kong, Ice Climber, The Legend of Zelda, which again is what I was talking about earlier. It's weird that that's on there. Mario Bros. Soccer, Super Mario Bros., and Tennis. So they already have Mario Bros. On there. Mario Bros. Is already available. The original, where like you just, I don't really know how to subscribe.
So you're like kicking Koopas in the sewers.
Yeah, you're like in the sewer.
Like one screen.
The only game where he's an actual plumber.
But you know what's funny is that people think like Mario's classic design is like the brown and red, right? But in Mario Bros, which came out before Super Mario Bros, he has his actual like blue and red color scheme.
Yeah.
Same with Donkey Kong.
So
my question is, why'd they change it for just one game, and then that one got stuck in the pop culture sphere?
Yeah. So
ugly. It's ugly.
Dr. Mario was already 2 players, wasn't it?
Yeah. Good old Dr. Mario.
Super Mario Brothers, also 2 players, but it would be like you could play, and then after you died, second player. I wonder if they're gonna do like new Super Mario Bros. Where they're both on the same screen playing.
That would be neat. I would do that.
Because I don't see a point, and like I see no point in any of this if it is taking turns. Like I play, I die, then you play, you die.
I really want.
But the big thing here, if this Zelda game is 2 players on screen at the same time, which we'll find out likely at E3 when we're all gonna go. Woohoo! Are you going to E3, Ilya? No? Yes? No?
No.
Okay. It's costing all of us a fortune.
I won't rub it in, but it is very expensive. But it's gonna be fun.
I also don't think I know enough games to play it for myself.
Well, there's 4 of us are rooming together to like cut down on cost.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I also just got out of college, so money doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I want to see like if anyone else actually right now in the chat, if anyone on E3, hit us up because we want to meet people. Or at least I do. I don't know if Jesse cares about his fans.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
It's everyone.
No, see, the thing is, if it was a normal trip to like a larger city like LA, then we probably could do some sort of meetup with fans, like go to a restaurant or something and then have people there. I would definitely want it in like a really public place so no one tries to kidnap me. But,
right. That makes sense.
Yeah. But with everyone else going there, because it's like all of the members of the chamber are going, so like HMK, I don't know if Zeltic, but Commonwealth Realm, like Joey and Conrad, everyone's going to be there. So it's like we all share basically the same fans. So I imagine if someone would be excited to see me, they would be twice as excited to see HMK. So they would be like, well, we would come and see you, but we're meeting someone cooler. So, yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, but we'll be hanging out with Gibbs in the chat. Gibbs going to be there. Ashley be there. Rick will
obviously. Bergerson.
Rick. Yeah, Bergerson, me.
Never even heard of him.
Kayla.
That's cool.
Like 1,000 other people. So that'll be cool to. Oh, even Holly. We'll be hanging out with her. Cece. Cece's taking us to Korean barbecue. I have no idea what that is, but She eats it a lot. It says it's good.
It's a barbecue.
And we're staying in Koreatown, like that area. So, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, so with this, like tennis again, Super Mario Bros., all the games that you would imagine are on here. But the interesting thing is, it's going to start with these 20 games. I imagine every few weeks or every month they'll add more games to it. But how long after do you think it'll be until they release Super Nintendo games or Game Boy Advanced games and then Nintendo 64?
Too long.
I want to say like 6. I want to say 6 months, but I don't know. That seems way too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't be surprised because we were supposed to get online services like in like last fall, and we were only just gonna get them now, right?
But I say 6 months because that seems like enough time for Nintendo to do it. Like, get everyone to buy all of the NES games, and then after they spend all their money and they're craving for more, then release the Super Nintendo games. Because if you release all the NES games and then release all of the Super Nintendo games, then like a game like Ice Climbers, which someone might buy, but then if they see A Link to the Past or Super Mario World, they'll be like, well, why would I buy Ice Climbers when I can buy the Super Nintendo games?
Yes, so that's me right there.
Yeah, I think they're going to delay the time between to get as much out of those games as possible. Because they all come free with the service, but if the service ends, you don't have access to those games anymore. So I imagine even though you can rent them for free with the service, even though you can do that, I imagine you could also purchase them separately, which I'll probably do. To get
that makes sense.
The original Zelda. That way if the service cuts out or like I can't go online with my console, I can still play the game.
Yeah.
So
also in the chat here, Kip asks if there's any chance of original DS games being added. That's tough because the thing is they were on the Wii U one.
Yeah, they were on the Wii U.
Like a lot of DS games are very dependent on you using a stylus. And the Switch does have touchscreen.
I scratched up my DS screen playing Phantom Hourglass. Because I used the cap on a pin lid.
Oh, Jesse, no!
Because I lost my stylus.
You know, actually, it's funny because my ex-girlfriend, at the time when DS was like a big thing, we were going out, the one who commandeered my copy of Wind Waker, I'll never forget. I remember she was playing Phantom Hourglass, and I was watching her play, and I noticed that she was using a pencil as a stylus, and I was like,
and that's why you two aren't together anymore.
And it's just that, well, no, there's other reasons involved, including me being real crappy. But it's just like that just shocks me.
That shocks me too. I can't imagine Daniel being crappy.
But I mean, well, okay, like I was like
even Kayla
a teenager,
is like,
so I mean,
he's the nicest guy.
Maybe she's just being nice because I was her boss. I was her supervisor. She has to say nice things about me. No, I haven't been her supervisor for a long time, but that's how we met. So I don't know. Maybe I did a good job. But no, it just the disregard for the hardware. I don't know. That kills me a little inside. Like for me, I'm like very meticulous with my consoles and everything, and like a couple of years back, I like dropped my DS. I had a DS Lite, and the hinge cracked on one side. And the thing is like a rough sandwich. Like it opens like it's supposed to open like that, but it opens kind of like that, and it's like hanging by wire.
What was it?
It works. It still works.
The original DS, like Miyamoto, like the reason it's so thick and clammy is because like Miyamoto wanted it so that you could drop it and it wouldn't break. That's why it was like so bulky.
But I dropped my DS Lite a number of times without it breaking, including a friend of mine smacked it out of my hand once because I was playing Tetris. He was getting annoyed with me playing.
Friend.
No, he wasn't, because it broke my copy of Tetris. So Tetris DS is like the best version of Tetris, in my opinion.
There was a Tetris on Vita that everybody really loved.
But is it as good as Tetris DS?
I didn't play either of those.
Well, anyways, the point is that where I was originally going with this is that so many DS games are like very dependent on the stylus, and they'd have to change just how to play, like the control of the game.
You could buy a stylus.
You could, but then they'd have to sell it as a peripheral, like for the Switch, to have their own stylus, because it's not just, you can't use your DS or your Wii U or 3DS stylus on the Switch, because it's a different type of touchscreen than those consoles had.
They could just do like release it as like the Switch stylus or whatever.
No, that'd be cool. But then you can't do docked. Like, you can't have it docked. You
like,
have
I think
to have
it's
it
iPads. They have their own stylus.
Yeah, I have one. Well, like,
aren't they like $80?
Like a Bluetooth. They're too expensive, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
they're like
it's like a Bluetooth
for a
stylus
fake pin
for the iPad, and it's good. It charges really fast. The battery life's almost as good as a Wii U Pro controller. Both of us who had a Wii U know that that's an incredible battery life. Yeah, so it's just it'll be interesting to see if they do. I would like them to, because it was on Wii, but we'll see if they do.
Yeah,
bring DS games to Switch.
I would like it, and then with 3DS games, I think they would just port them over instead of running them off emulated software. I don't know if the Switch could handle emulating a 3DS.
I don't know, but that'd be cool. But we never got 3DS on the Wii U Virtual Console, did we? Only up to DS. We never got GameCube or 3DS.
And then I don't know if it did or not, but did the Wii U raise the resolution for DS games, or did it just play it at the standard, like really blocky
I don't know.
Was it 240p? Or
I never downloaded any DS games on my Wii U. I did Game Boy Advance games that I missed out on back when they were on Game Boy Advance.
I didn't
and I did a lot of
so.
Super Nintendo and NES games and stuff like that, but I never downloaded any DS games because the thought of having the two screens on the gamepad screen, one on top of the other like that, just made me cringe.
Yeah.
So, and I still have my DS, so, well, I'll just get them on the DS. I don't know.
Yeah, I would really like to see like just all of the older Zelda games. I would like to have them to be able to play on the go. That'd be really cool.
I agree. Yeah. I think if you could do like Zelda 1, if you could have like a save state on it, and just it can be a very casual, challenging but casual experience if you wanted it to. It could be fun.
Yeah, the multiplayer thing is what confuses me, because they could be cool guy Nintendo and have it to where it's simultaneous multiplayer, or they could be bad guy Nintendo and have it to where it's taking turns.
It could also be the Mario Run style of multiplayer,
where you're playing against
like
a shadow.
Trial. Yeah, or like a time trial sort of. Yeah, or the shadow.
See, that just seems so lazy, though.
It does, but you never know.
Like, if you were adding multiplayer to it, you might as well. Like, they did something similar with Pokemon when they made blue and red for the 3DS. They made it so you could connect online to trade, but it was like very simple online functionality. So we only have one story left, and when Ilya comes back, we'll do it, and we'll try to rush through it. Like, we'll literally just read through it, and as we read, we'll say what we think about it. So
sounds good. Hopefully she's not. Hopefully she's okay. She had an injury to attend to.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
if she wanted me to say that out loud. I'm sure people are like, "Why'd she just get up and leave?"
It was a gunshot.
I don't know. Oh no! I'm gonna turn on this light because the sun's getting real low and my natural light is fading.
Yeah. Oh, you're back. Hello. So we're going to
Problem solved.
the new news story.
Okay.
So.
Which, just an FYI, I have to be up really, really early in the morning.
Oh no, okay.
So I was telling Daniel we're going to be doing this one really quickly. Instead of having a discussion, we're just going to like read through it and give our quick thoughts. And then
Cool.
I don't think the BuzzFeed thing is going to take very long. And then we'll each take 2 questions and end it. So we should be done with
It
them.
might take a bit if we start ranting.
Within, yeah. See, every single time we're like, we can get through this one quick, and then we go off on tangents. So
No, I understand that.
yeah. All right.
I didn't exactly help with that.